What is up? Welcome to Made for More, a podcast from ACC Youth. I'm your host, Brady Folks.
Guy.
And this is my best friend and your youth pastor, Tyler Miller.
What up?
A.K.A. Tai, a.k.a. Baby Tai, a.k.a. TT. That's what I actually legitimately call him most of the time.
Great.
We'll edit that out.
No, we won't. We edited in the whole
We
we
edited in more than the last time, which I did just watch this a couple days ago. We just released the first episode, and I just want to say I forgot half of the things that we said in there, but the edits made it.
Shout out Macy and Eva.
Shout out to the youth creatives because they feel like we're just creating culture. We're creating a small culture right there. So Tyler, I know you had a place. You had a place that you wanted us to start this week, so I'll let you take it.
I just like that your title is Guy, my best friend, production guy. Were there any others? The one I said off screen, but
that's kind of how I feel.
Good. All right. I'm starting with a issue very near and dear to our hearts, and to this day, I still have only had one person strongly disagree.
Yeah,
which to me, I'm like, we have a large sample size at this point, so it's like if you disagree with this,
we're in the right.
Just wrong.
Yeah.
The idea is long summer.
Yes.
Excuse me, long June.
Long June.
A portion that is the heart of summer,
it's
if you will.
Really all that ever really is summer.
Correct.
Is long June. So Tyler and I were driving.
Do you remember where we were?
We were driving to New York.
We were driving to my parents' house in Buffalo.
Yes.
And then we were going to New York because we lived in New York for that summer.
So we spent a summer in New York.
Which was awesome.
Insert Brady and Tyler, and we're in New York, and it's dun, 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 dun. All right, we'll edit that in. I'm just throwing things out there.
We went to Fallon.
We did go to Jimmy Fallon
games.
So we were
I
going.
think I went to a Yankees game by myself.
You did, and that told me everything I needed to know about you.
That is something.
Yeah, he's road tested. So we were headed to New York. It's a very long drive, and we were listening to a podcast called The Great Debates.
Right.
Yes, and so on
Ryan from The Office, I was on it.
Yes, and so on The Great Debates, it's a couple of writers. One of them is the writers of Parks and Rec, which I've now referenced Parks and Rec in both episodes. Not intentional.
Consistency.
So The Great Debates, and they are debating. What was it? Which is better, June or July? That's what it was.
The Great Debates is, let me just put two people on one side, two people on the other side, and have them argue about something ridiculous.
Yes.
I can't remember what the other ones we listened to were, but one of them, the one that we listened to that we remember, obviously, was which month is more summer than the other, June or July? Right?
Yes.
And it's like the June guys, they're going for a while, and we're like both solid arguments. Eventually, the June guys get so fired up that they literally go at July and say, guys, your only arguments thus far have only been centered around 4th of July celebrations.
100%.
And that's basically part of June. So then they developed this whole idea of long June that we actually expanded.
In the middle of the podcast, they were like, long June, and that was kind of their
that
nail
honestly
in the
is
coffin.
where they concluded.
That was nail in the coffin was long June. Basically, because July 4th is so close to June, it's basically just the end of June. But so we expanded off of that.
We expanded because we added the soul, the heart of what is really summer.
Yes.
Is the beginning of Memorial Day celebrations,
which
at
is the very end of May.
Until July 4th celebrations conclude.
Yep.
Now, that date can move based on when July 4th is.
If it needs to.
If July 4th is the Thursday or even a Wednesday, most people might be extending that weekend.
Yes.
So then
through
it's getting
the Sunday. So it could be to the 5th or the 6th or the 7th.
Right.
But it is.
But then after that, summer's on the decline.
Yes.
It's still summer, but it's not full summer.
It's post-summer.
It's post-summer.
It's you're winding down into that no man's land between summer and fall where you're just in school.
This is when, and this is coming from me who...
It's the worst part of the year. There, I said it. All right.
No, the worst... I disagree with that. And we'll get there in a second. We'll get there in a second where I think the worst part of the year is. But we're talking all seasons. So if that doesn't interest you today, that's what we're talking about. We talked about heaven last time, seasons this time. So it's a great song.
Paprika,
Shout
pepper,
out Hillsong
salt.
Worship.
cumin.
Why are you listing?
Season?
That's seasonings.
Oh.
That's different than seasons.
My notes are irrelevant.
Did you have like a long monologue
Just
on,
a long
on
monologue
basil?
on basil.
How did I know?
I know.
Right. Oregano. Spaghetti.
You oregano. Anyway, continue.
Anyway, what the heck was
From May.
Thank you. From Memorial Day to July 4th celebrations.
Yes.
That's the hard summer. Because after that, I grew up going to school. We didn't start school until after Labor Day.
Yep.
In September, and we still had school into June.
Yep.
And I still feel like long June is the heart of the summer.
Yes.
That section of school for us, it was a joke. We were watching movies.
Yep.
People were skipping class.
Of course.
Just the whole time. We, like, at our pool was open. We were having parties. Like, we were at the pool the whole time.
Yep.
And so even though I, like, didn't have school all of August still, so summer's really not ending after July 4th, it still felt like all the fall sports start doing camps or workouts, and you start practicing.
Your family pushes off vacations until school is over, and then you go on vacations in the middle of June.
Exactly.
And what I said was that,
and that's when your mom's taking you to get new shoes and your new school outfit and school supplies. And it's like if school supplies have shown up in
that
the
was
grocery
what I was
store,
about to say.
Yeah.
If I walk into Target and there's a school supply where a beach ball once was,
exactly, summer's over.
Summer
and that is
over.
After the 4th.
And look when it is.
I guarantee you.
Look when it is.
They shift after that weekend to school supplies.
So the world, we're basically, we're not proposing a new month. We're just saying we're all living in this already.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge that long June deserves some respect and that summer's the most overrated season. I'm so glad we agree.
Ooh, we don't agree. We still don't agree, but we will get there.
We will get there.
We will get there. Because here's the thing. Well, let me just wrap up long June.
Yes.
We have, at this point, unless we have something else crazy happen, another pandemic, which in Jesus' name, that's not going to happen.
In Jesus' name.
But we've already had the longest June we will ever have.
Yes.
Because 2019.
Yes.
It was 2019?
Yes.
No, it was 2020.
When
did the pandemic start?
2020.
2020, thank you. 2020. See what I'm saying? Like time hasn't existed for the last 2 years.
Exactly. It's fair. 2020.
Because time is just
March
a
2020
idea that we
that's not where we're going today.
Right. Got outside
that's
of time.
Next week.
We can get there. We had long June legitimately from spring break in March.
Yes.
Until July. Because I feel like some stuff kind of, well, even then, I wouldn't even say.
But everyone just did the things that you normally do in summer, which is you just do nothing. You lay around. You go for walks. You read for some reason. You
and I have different ideas on summer, but that's okay.
But so everyone did all these things, and then you get to the middle. The thing about long June to me is it's called long June because, well, obviously it's longer, but because it's so long, by the end of June, I would say, if we're all honest, we've done all the things we want to do in summer.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, July is like I said, with the school supplies out, with school coming back into session, you're prepping for things, you're doing whatever. Like summer is dead, and you're mourning it as you enter into the slow march of school coming in August.
Yeah, you have a slightly pessimistic view on that, and
Correct.
I still don't like the declining action of summer. That still makes me sad.
Yeah.
I am just the pretend that's not real and still try to vibe out with summer for another month. But I acknowledge that the heart of summer has ended.
But you respect long June.
I emphatically promote long June.
So,
long June is real.
So right here.
Maybe next year for youth we'll do something crazy like long June celebration or something like that.
Yeah, we should. The beginning and end of long June.
Yeah. It'll be hard because sneak peek, we might be doing Tides near the beginning of long June. Tides Volume 3.
Wink.
We should definitely have a montage of Tides clips right here. I don't know why that audio is where you went. All right, seasons. Anyway. So what has been happening recently in the youth team and, our whole friendship really is an ongoing debate on what seasons are, why they matter.
That was the first wake, was it not?
We did.
That was the first wake. Was seasons change.
Wow. Oh my gosh. In this spot right here in this video, we're going to have a couple pictures fly through. Mm-hmm. Chad and Phoebe and a few others did a photo shoot.
I remember
these
that.
pictures?
It was incredible. That's when I knew.
So funny.
We had
the picture I want right now is Chad hugging a pumpkin and then Phoebe rubbing her face with fall leaves. And then I think it was KK and Phoebe looking dramatic.
Yes.
With flowers. There's so many good pictures.
That was like Midsommar vibes, though. I didn't love that one. They were like,
but we would have never thought that if we hadn't seen.
You're right. You're
if
right.
That
you're right.
hadn't existed.
Spoiled
we would have never thought that. So the debate is, this happened with all of the LDPs that y'all have been seeing in these videos. Our youth staff group text with all the LDPs, it got sparked. I don't really remember why, but for an hour and a half, our group chat was blowing up. Chad didn't look at it, and it was probably 150, 200 messages.
Oh, my gosh.
In like an hour and a half. Like, it was just constant.
So it's heated.
It's heated. And so I eventually was like, all right, everybody, like, rankings with short reasoning.
Yes.
And so here's where we kind of landed, and not we. There's much division in the team. But
of course.
Roughly, if we average it all out, spring is very low on most people's lists.
Of course.
In my opinion, it's 4. I hate spring.
Because
you're asking me about worst time of the year.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing good happening early spring. We're too far from summer for me to really get excited about summer. There's pollen.
Yeah.
It rains.
Pollen.
It's a weird, like, cold and hot, but most of the time it's not warm enough to, like, actually wear warm clothes. But, like, even you who wants to, not wear warm clothes most of the time, you like the day that you step outside and you're like, oh, it's not freezing cold.
Yes. And by not wear warm clothes, he means I hate shorts.
Right. Right.
I wish it was freezing all the time.
Also, that summer we were in New York on the 4th of July. Brady bought a women's jean jacket.
All right. I didn't know it was women's.
And he's, after 2 weeks of wearing it, he said, man, why are the buttons on the wrong side?
Yes.
We also own women's shoes. The same pair.
The same pair we bought in New York.
The exact same pair that we also bought
Nike
in New York.
Cortezes. We bought them because they were sold out of men's.
And they're the exact same.
And they're the same.
I have compared.
And cheaper.
I have compared since. So, anyway. On the 4th of July, when we were in New York City, if this shows you anything about Brady, he wants to wear just what he wants to wear. So my man was going full Canadian tuxedo, jeans, T-shirt, jean jacket.
Yep.
On a pier. That for some reason.
We sat there for 9 hours.
We sat there for 9 freaking hours.
On 4th of July. And
in the sun.
Well, I didn't wear the jacket, and then I got a sunburn.
Oh, you got scorched.
Because I had on my American flag tank top.
Right.
As you do.
And... Of course.
And then I got sunburned, so then I was like, I guess I'm wearing this
I'm
jean
sure
jacket.
we can find pictures of us on the 4th.
So I put on the jean jacket, and I have a picture of me. I have a picture of me from that.
I think we have a picture of you, me, and Favre.
Oh.
We had a guy, and it wasn't actually Brett Favre. We had a guy that we called Favre the whole time because he just...
Better than Brett Favre, in my opinion.
Better than Brett Favre. So seasons. So spring is super low, in my opinion.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything good. I think the saddest time of year is like, all right, we're through Christmas. We're... Disclaimer, we don't have real winter in Auburn. Sorry, everybody. Winter, in my opinion, it counts as winter if there is a chance of real snow. It doesn't have to be a big chance, but a chance of real snow.
Here in Auburn?
No. I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
General.
That's why I'm saying we don't have winter here.
Yeah.
We have less than like a 1% chance of having real snow
all the time.
here.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
I don't even know if it's like well, we got a couple inches a few years.
But not really.
But it felt like it. We walked outside for like a couple hours, and it felt like there was snow on the ground.
Yes.
That was fun. People lost their minds.
So worst time of year you think is when...
Like, I'm like, especially here, like spring really, like weather-wise in Auburn starts February, basically. And like, we've gone through the New Year Christmas momentum. And here, the good thing, the reason I think winter's slightly above spring and that time is like okay other places is like you can ski other places or like do things. And there's a chance that you get out of school. Like
now that is my favorite thing ever.
My eighth grade year, we had 3 weeks. We had 3 huge snowstorms in Virginia that we got out for a week every single time. It was beautiful.
And
like
you're
2
just
feet
like,
of snow.
you're like, this is the height of luxury.
Exactly. That's when it's like, all right, we go hard during the day, snowball fights, sledding, and then I go home and watch 3 movies.
You're like, and I
awesome.
have some cocoa.
And we had, like week-long sleepovers. It was fantastic.
It's the greatest thing ever.
So that's why spring, in my opinion, is super low. That time of the year is super dead. Like, we're all trying to survive to spring break. Then spring break happens, and we're like, okay, it feels like it should be summer.
Wow, that was not enough.
It feels like it should be summer, but we're not there yet. So spring is low.
So spring is 4 for you.
I'm like, flowers are pretty, but also I can get flowers at the grocery store all year round.
That's true.
So I'm like, I like that things are becoming green and growing again, but let's be real, we all just want summer.
What's the next on the list for you?
Winter.
Winter is 3.
Now, here's where I need a hard disclaimer. If you know anything about me, you should all know this. If you've ever come to or listened to anything youth-related ever. If Christmas time was its own season, it would be far and away number 1 for me, and it would not even be close.
Yes.
But because of the downsides of winter,
yes,
the cold nastiness that happens most of the time, even if you're in a place that has a chance of snow.
Yeah.
And it's dark. I hate it being dark really early. That's just not fun.
Dang.
So winter's at 3. And I would say in our group text, and I think Eva could agree with this, most people had winter right in that 3 range.
Okay.
Nobody had it in their top 2.
Did anybody have it last?
I think probably a few people had it last, but more people
Those
had
psychos whose summer is number 1?
See, and that's where you're wrong. Everybody in our group text, for the most part, not everybody, but if we averaged it out, summer's in the 1-2
Well,
range,
congrats.
always.
You live in Auburn, so.
And shout out Blake Spradlin for being a crazy person, the only person who had spring first.
What?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why?
He must not have allergies.
Clearly. So then that's where it gets weird, is 2 and 1 in this group text, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. For me, for a very long time, and I know this wasn't you, for a very long time, I would have quickly said summer number 1. I would have quickly said summer number 1. Love being out, love it being hot, being by the pool, going to the beach, getting to not do school. We don't have it was chill always, and it was so fun. I grew up we had a neighborhood pool that tons of families, I always had friends there. We would eat lunch and dinner there. We'd be there all the time. So it was super fun. Ton of nostalgic memories. As I've become an adult, fall has become number 1 because I don't have the ultimate freedom of summer.
Yes.
I don't get summers off.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. It's still awesome.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. So now fall is my favorite. And fall was consensus in the group the highest. There's an energy in the fall.
Yes.
Everybody gets excited because the weather chills
and we
out
live in
a
the
little
South.
bit. And football.
I mean, come on, somebody.
It's the building. This is also why Christmas doesn't carry winter enough, because the excitement of Christmas also attaches itself to fall.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
You're ooh, Christmas is coming.
It's coming.
Yes.
And so it's we got football, leaves, Halloween, pumpkins, Thanksgiving. Again, I will state this clearly, a warm-up holiday to Christmas.
Yes.
Still valuable for the day that it is, but I'm it's a good warm-up. It gives you the ability to flip-flop between families that you see.
That's really, it's
a
only
rotational
utility.
It's a rotational piece. It's, again, football.
Somebody was
like,
I can't keep going to my mother-in-law's on Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Another holiday right before.
Bingo. So that's where we landed. Fall, I think, is king.
Yeah. So for me, we're just going to start coming in hot with number 4 is summer.
Brady
it's just
hates the heat.
The worst
hates the
ever. Heat. If it is 90 degrees, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time.
I know.
Getting excited about what's going on. It's just and the thing is I forget. I'm lulled to sleep by the long, hot, heavy summer.
Brady is similar to a bear, that the hibernation feel of being inside or chill is appealing to you. And so when it's hot, there's no part of you that's ooh, this feels really nice.
Yes.
Most of us.
You're just surviving.
Most of us like going to the beach and feeling that heat hit our skin a little bit, and you hate that.
I hate that. So I don't really love the beach, although I'll go.
You like the idea of the beach with people, but not really the beach itself.
Not really the beach itself. I love the beach. I always used to say I love the beach north of the sand. I love.
You love looking at the sand.
I love looking at the sand, standing on it. Then going to a restaurant where you can look at the ocean. But and I love summer because I do like summer because you have trips, you have vacations, we have youth camps. That was always something that I did. Tides Volume 3 coming next summer, right? Hopefully.
Yep.
Okay, cool. I mean, hopefully in actual summer.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So summer, is right there. Number 3 for me, 100% is going to be spring, just because allergies.
That's why I'm spring is consistently low.
Yeah, but so we start right there. We start right there with spring. Right there is spring is number 3, where allergies, but it's still a little chilly. That's why it's above summer. It is still chilly sometimes.
Yeah. We have
so then
so
number
you just
2,
you are full temperature.
I'm full temp.
Right.
I'm full temp.
It is temp only.
Yeah, I'm Timmy temp.
All right.
New lower third. Timmy temp. Yep.
Okay.
So then from there, number 2 is obviously winter, because fall is number one. Really,
right.
fall is number one.
I think fall is consensus the highest.
It has to
I
be.
haven't met anybody who's had fall
because
in the 3
that
or 4
first day
range.
where you walk outside and it's crisp.
My allergies are actually worse in the fall.
In the fall?
But I can survive. It's the dead leaves that usually get me. We don't have a ton of that here.
And smoke. Everybody likes a bonfire.
Oh, I love.
Everybody likes a bonfire, and I love the smell. One of my favorite smells is like a put out candle, or like a
There's just so many things you can do. There's just so many things you can do.
Well, it's because we're allowed to go outside. We're not trapped
apples.
inside.
Well, you are trapped inside other times. We aren't trapped inside.
Like I said, so we're not trapped inside to where we can go outside and enjoy our lives as humans outside where it's like a normal temperature.
Yes,
that
but
we can
most
survive.
of us do that during the summer anyway.
But I also say this, that I grew up in Tuscaloosa. You grew up in
Four Seasonsville
in Virginia.
Yeah, Northern Virginia, where we have a nice Four Seasons.
Right. So here it's basically like
in Virginia,
summer.
My experience was like it gets as hot and as humid.
Yes.
In essence, as it does down here for less time. Which you would love.
Yes.
Because then you're like, I can do the good things and then
be done. Because I don't mind the hot things. It's just how long.
And
it's
then we
hot.
have a beautiful fall, a decent spring, and there's, like I said, at least a chance of good snow.
That it might snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right, wrap it up. This is literally how I want to end.
Yes.
We've said good and bad things. Well, mostly good things about some seasons, mostly
Yes.
bad things about some seasons. What characteristic of God do you see in every season?
Oh, great question. And also,
because all creation points to him.
We got to bring it back home. Okay, so just like kind of rapid fire or like short
Either
form?
way, you can do rapid fire and I'll do rapid fire and then we'll wrap it.
So I would say rapid fire. I would say in summer. Oh, it's the hardest one. Let me think.
We can tag team this.
Yeah, okay. In spring, obviously, new life. Boom.
New
easy.
life. Yeah.
Make me new.
I hate rain, but like the rain of spring is
brings new
life.
Things. Brings new things.
Refreshing, cleansing.
Winter
growth.
For me is long suffering and patience. I think that there is
the stillness.
There is a stillness. There is a like I said, the patience. And when you talk about like God is not slow as others consider slowness. Right. I think that winter is a season that in a lot of cultures and a lot of contexts, you are like, it's a very difficult thing because literally up until like 100 years ago, people were like, how can we survive the winter? So I think just like in a larger context, I think that God is in winter because, I mean, he will hold us fast.
Telling you, seasons, Hillsong Worship. We'll put it in the comments or something.
Yeah. So, and then from there, fall, I mean, God is good. God is love.
God is, I mean, our pastor has said from stage multiple times,
yes.
primarily in the fall.
Yes.
It feels like Jesus took his shirt off outside.
And I still say that, and people say that makes them uncomfortable, and I'm saying,
I just think it's a weird connection, but I do agree.
You don't think Jesus ever took his shirt off?
No, of course he took his shirt off.
Right. So I'm like, why are we weird about it? He's fully man.
I'm just like, I don't think Jesus taking his shirt off made the Middle East go to fall in
Well,
Auburn
it didn't make
weather.
it worse, I'll tell you that. He had to have been fit, right?
I just think being a carpenter in that time, he had to be fairly healthy.
They probably weren't.
Physically.
Yeah. So, like, it probably did make it feel better.
And now, see, this insinuation is where people feel weird about it.
Exactly what I'm doing is the reason people don't want to talk about it.
So,
all right, cool.
Fall is good because of anticipation, because Jesus is good and he loves us.
Yes.
I think for me, this is so funny. I literally held Maverick the other day and started telling him about all the good things about fall we're going to get to do together, and I started tearing up. Serious. Because of like the nostalgia memories.
He's like,
I think that in of itself is like a life is good, the story is good that God writes, even though there's hard things here.
Yeah.
So it's like the good memories that we all have of the fall, like why I really think everybody likes the fall is like memories and like experiences during it. That points to like that's what we're going to remember that in heaven. We're going to remember the good things, and we're going to get to experience.
Well,
that
and
forever.
that's the main thing that is going to matter forever. Is common memory
and relationship. Yeah, exactly. And so that's why fall is amazing.
Okay, and now we'll try summer.
Vibrancy, life, energy, passion.
The
things that fire.
Fire. It's 1,000,000 degrees.
There's so many good things.
You know what summer reminds me of?
Do you know that there's beauty in like the beach and
I know,
heat and
but you know where else is hot?
Water.
You know where it's really hot?
Do we know that?
I don't. I mean, I don't.
I think we can check this. This is totally off the cuff.
No, it is. It's fire. There's fire. There's fire in hell.
Yeah, but do we just think that because of the lake of fire at the end of Revelation? Is that hell until? Or
every analogy, you look through
burn.
Several.
No,
you look through several analogies, and it's like they'll be cast into the fire.
Yeah,
you're cast into the fire.
You're right. Heat isn't bad though.
Heat isn't bad. You're right. Heat is good.
Heat is good.
Right. When it's a fire in
also
winter.
Water is like the most present in the summer.
Yeah,
which
and
many spiritual things.
And I think, like you said, that it is that in fall, like we were saying, I think fall is like a time of like loss, like you're losing things, like losing trees and losing leaves and all that kind of stuff. And so I think it's a time where you can reflect on the year that you've had, but also like, I mean, in literally losing leaves and that sort of thing. I think that there's the characteristic of like that there is a time for everything.
But we also celebrate like harvest.
Yes.
Then. Like we've reaped what's been sown.
Oh, wow.
That's a word.
And that's wisdom.
Wow.
Okay, and that's all of them. Yeah.
That's four. Yeah.
Yeah. And in long June.
The two, if we're taking just abstract seasons into play, it is Christmas season.
Yes.
Massive gap for me.
Enormous gap. Honestly, incomprehensible gap.
Incomprehensible. But then long June is next, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's close. Long June / September to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Christmas season starts November 1st.
Yeah, October is like my favorite month of the year. So we're in my favorite month.
I love October. I think October
because October is when it actually gets cold here.
But I'm also so close to getting triggered because we're within a month of Christmas time.
Christmas. Play very quiet. Jingle bells. And Tyler going.
So many things. It's going to be awesome.
All right. Well, did you have anything else that you wanted to share to send us off?
You were made for more.
You were made for more. This was episode 2 of Made for More, a podcast from ACC Youth. I am your host, Brady Folks.
Guy. Tyler Miller.
This is my best friend, your youth pastor, Tyler Miller.
Peace.
See ya.